People sometimes ask, how can they make a difference? How can they do something to end the exclusion of gay people from marriage, or to improve the treatment of gay people generally, or simply to make it a better society? And the answer to that is the recipe for social change is very simple. It's information over time. We have to reach out to the people around us, and you don't have to start with the hardest ones. You work ever outward in concentric circles of closeness. The people in your lives, the people who look to you, the people you can talk with, the people you love and who love you. And whether you're gay or non-gay, you have circles of people who need to hear from you. And you give them the information they need to have. And sometimes that means being willing to push past their discomfort or not wanting to talk about it, to engage them and get them to talk about. The information is very simple. It's why marriage matters. Why is marriage important? How does the denial of marriage affect people, in this case gay people, who are excluded from it? The intangible protections that they're denied, the security, the clarity, the respect, the equality, the opportunity to make a statement about their love and their commitment on equal terms. The tangible denials, the fact that no matter how loved the gay people are in their own community or in their own family, if there's a crisis or an accident, in most states, all but 2 in the country as of today, they are legally strangers to one another. They are second-class citizens deprived of the safety net that is afforded to families in times of crisis and in the ordinary ups and downs through the institution of marriage. So that's the information. Why marriage matters, how gay people really live, what the denial really means, and the fact that just because you're welcome at the Thanksgiving table, just because your partner is treated well, just because people love you or like you, it doesn't mean that you're legally equal. And we need to talk to people and help them understand that. That's the information. And the information over time recipe comes from the fact that sometimes people don't take everything in the first time, or they don't want to hear it the first time. Sometimes people need to hear it more than once. Sometimes people need to hear it 5 times as they wrestle with it in their own consciences. But you can't hear something 5 times if you don't hear it once. So it's important for all of us to not wait for someone else to break the silence, but instead to get in there and have that conversation, to give them the information that will enable them to rise to the better angels of their nature and be fair. Most people want to be fair. Most people are capable of being fair. But if we don't give them the information to rethink, in Lincoln's words, to think anew, then we're not doing our part to help them be the better person they can be, which will enable them to help us end the discrimination we want to see end. And the 2 principles I think people need to follow in giving people information over time are, first of all, we can't assume that just because somebody likes us or loves us or tolerates us or treats our partner well, if we're gay, or talks generally against prejudice, we can't assume that just because of that, that they actually understand how the denial of marriage is an injustice, how it harms people. We have to connect the dots and explain that to people and help them understand. And all of the information for doing that is available through websites like freedomtomarry.org, or through any of the other organizations that are listed on that website, through books, through pamphlets. People don't have to make this all up. They just need to do a little thinking and prepare themselves to be ready to have conversations with the people in their lives and to break that silence. But don't assume that just because somebody's generally good, that they've thought about it or that they understand. It's our job to ask. And the other principle is the flip side of that, which is don't assume that just because somebody isn't with us now, they can't get there. The last several years of this struggle is full of examples of people who initially were skeptical or resistant or even prejudiced or afraid or uncomfortable or believed the kind of scare arguments that the right wing has been putting forward about the terrible things that will happen. But as they, as fair people, have thought about it over time, their hearts and minds have opened and they've changed. It's our job to go out and have these conversations with people and not write them off. And the more we do that, the more we give them that information over time, the more people come to our side, just as they have at every other decisive civil rights moment in American history. But every civil rights moment of change was preceded by a long period of engagement. And I used to go around the country all the time saying there's no marriage without engagement. If we don't engage non-gay people in our lives in a conversation, how can we expect them to understand? we have to break the silence. And the we is not just gay people, because non-gay people can be very effective messengers about why this matters to them as they tell the stories to the people they can reach. And each one of us is the best ambassador, the best messenger to a whole circle of people, better than some lawyer, better than some TV thing. Each one of us is the best person for many people. And it's our job to reach out to them and talk to them.